I never imagined that my path to healing could lead me into such darkness. Yet there I was, in the middle of a healing journey that had somehow pushed me deeper into despair. Days blurred together in a fog of sadness. I felt utterly broken and alone, weighed down by a deep depression that I couldn't shake. Each night I poured my pain onto the pages of my journal, tears smearing the ink as I struggled with hopelessness. I remember whispering into the silence, "God, are you there? Why do I feel so lost?" The journey that was supposed to mend me was instead magnifying my wounds, and I didn't know how much longer I could carry on like this. In the midst of that darkness, when I was at my weakest, I turned to prayer as a last resort. It started as a fragile, whispered plea each night, a few halting words because I didn't know what else to do. Through prayer and faith, I found the strength to overcome my challenges one day at a time. It wasn't an instant fix for my depression, but every prayer was like a small ray of light piercing through the gloom. I would close my eyes and talk to God, sometimes through sobs, laying bare all my fears and pain. And in those moments of raw honesty with God, I felt something new, a flicker of hope. Trusting in God's plan began to bring me an immense peace, even when nothing in my circumstances had changed yet. Little by little, prayer became my lifeline, the thread of hope I clung to when I felt like I was drowning. Each sunrise after a night of prayer felt just a bit more hopeful, as if God was gently holding me up when I couldn't stand on my own. One night, in the glow of a solitary candle, I reached a breaking point. I realized I had been holding on to my worries and pains so tightly that I hadn't truly released them. I remember physically kneeling on the floor, my hands open, and surrendering every single worry to God. In that moment, I prayed like I never had before. I gave everything over to Him, every fear, every trauma, every ounce of despair. A strange thing happened as I whispered, "I surrender it all to you, Lord," through my tears. It felt as if a massive weight was being lifted off my shoulders. My chest, which had been tight with anxiety, suddenly loosened as I released control. In that surrender, God's presence became real to me. I wasn't just saying a prayer, I was letting go. And by letting go, I unknowingly opened my heart to God's promises of renewal and transformation. In exchange for my burdens, He gave me a sense of calm I couldn't explain, a peace that reached deep into my heart. The candle beside me flickered gently, and I felt heard. I felt held. It was in my surrender that a profound peace quietly washed over me, as if God was telling me, "Rest now, I've got you." In the days and weeks after that night, I began to sense a real transformation in my spirit. The depression that had once suffocated me started to loosen its grip. I found myself waking up with a new feeling in my heart, something I hadn't felt in a long time: hope. I held on to a particular scripture that became the anthem of my healing. In Isaiah chapter 43, verses 18 and 19, I read the words, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing." It felt as though God was speaking those words directly to me, assuring me that my past pain and darkness would not define my future. I took those words to heart. I actively tried to let go of the past, to stop dwelling on my old hurts and failures. And as I did, I could almost feel God doing that new thing within me, just as He promised. Every morning during this time, I would take slow walks at sunrise. The sky's subtle colors changing from gray to gold felt like a promise unfolding. With each step in the cool dawn air, I breathed in peace and exhaled the remnants of my worries. Through faith, my life was being transformed from the inside out. The same person who once couldn't see beyond her pain was now looking forward to each new day. I smiled again, a genuine smile, often with tears of gratitude in my eyes. It's hard to explain the change in any logical way. All I know is that when I gave God control, He began to heal me in ways I never thought possible. I truly believe He was making a way in the wilderness of my despair, creating streams of new life in the wasteland of my heart, just as the scripture says. Where there was once emptiness and sorrow, I now felt purpose, peace, and a deep connection to the divine. Faith had transformed my life, and with every prayer I prayed, I felt a renewed sense of purpose and a closeness to God that I hadn't known before. My healing journey became less about my pain and more about God's power to redeem that pain. My story is just one example of what can happen when a broken soul finds hope through faith. If you're watching this and you've been struggling in your own darkness, I want to gently encourage you. You don't have to carry it all alone. There is an incredible power in prayer and in surrendering our burdens to God. When I was at my lowest, trusting in God gave me peace and strength I never thought I'd feel again. You can tap into that same source of strength. Take a moment to be still, to whisper a prayer, no matter how uncertain or awkward it might feel. Pick up that Bible that's been collecting dust and see if a verse speaks to you. It could be the lifeline you need. Forget the former things that haunt you. Do not dwell on the past. Believe that God can do a new thing in your life, just as He did in mine. I'm not showing my face in this video because this journey isn't about appearances. It's about the inner healing that anyone can experience. So, as this chapter of my story closes with the soft glow of a new dawn, I invite you to start your own chapter. Reconnect with your faith, or, if you've never tried, explore the power of prayer in your healing. You might just find, as I did, that when you surrender to God and trust Him, a new sense of peace and purpose will spring forth, a true new beginning. Remember, you are not alone, and your story isn't over. God is doing a new thing. Let it unfold in your life.